How many times have we interacted with certain products or services which urge us to come and re-interact with them again and again? Think McDonald's equals fast delivery, Nike equals great shoes, the Ritz-Carlton properties equals great experiences. This isn't accidental. It is intentional by choice. There's a wow factor built right in the product. Curious to know how you can develop your product with this wow factor? Remember in school when we had to solve a math problem? At first, we had to look at few examples. On similar lines, I will share an example of a resort. This resort property has nailed product design with a wow factor in multiple different situations, which has resulted in repeated revenue generation over months and years. This resort does not have a lean season. For this resort, every day is a good business day. What comes to your mind when you think of a good weekend destination resort, especially catering to the family crowd? Clean rooms, great food, exceptional service. That's a given, right? For any family to come back to one particular resort again and again, it really has to have a very unique quirk. That's exactly what this resort has been able to establish across multiple touch points, ensuring guests have a wonderful experience and they want to come back to it again and again and again. Beyond the basics, that is the room, the swimming pool, great service, and the food, this unique property has nailed three exceptional wow factors which ensures there is repeat business throughout the year. Number one, a golf caddy. Number two, a retail outlet. And number three, cafeteria come confectionery shop, which actually gives tea and coffee at a lesser price than what they are offering at their own restaurant. Stick around to the end of the video if you want to know how this cafeteria with a lesser priced tea and coffee actually generated 20% more revenue from me and my family while I was there at this property. Let's start with the first wow factor, the golf caddy. The moment you enter the property, you see a white golf caddy which is going to take you from the reception area to the rooms. The first ride in this caddy is on the house. There's no charge associated with that. Subsequently, if you end up utilizing the caddy, there's a charge of 50 rupees one has to pay to utilize the service. For senior citizens, it is absolutely free. And that's exactly where the pricing and the magic factor kicks in. If you have your grandmother traveling with you, she is a senior citizen, she would be getting on this caddy. If you have two kids who is looking at this caddy for the first time, they would want to get on this four-wheeler, this new kind of four-wheeler. Would you let your granny and the kids just go and roam around this property on this caddy? No, right? You've come for a family vacation. So all six of you go and sit on this caddy. 50 rupees each, barring all senior citizens. The whole family gets on the caddy. You pay 250 rupees. If you search on the internet, these caddies are available somewhere in the brackets of 2 to 3 lakhs. Every day, this caddy was doing approximately 20 trips. So within a year, the cost of the caddy is actually recovered. It's a battery operated one. The driver of the caddy is not trained for higher revenue generation through this mechanism. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Once this driver of the caddy makes you go around the property and drops you at your preferred location, there is three things he does. First, he informs the family that the granny and the kids can again take a caddy ride in the evening. Second, he informs the pre-decided 250 rupees which was required, you can just pay $200, they are going to give a certain discount. And third, he mentions it would be of great help if anyone in the family member can actually provide a good Google business review. Did you notice something interesting here? First, he informs the granny and the kids can have a ride of the caddy again. Second, he made a discounted rate, so you are already feeling good. The third, he asks it would be great if they felt nice while they are at this property, going around this property, if they can get a good review on Google. Two positive things going out to the customer and just one small request of a Google review from a customer. The hotel operations team has methodically found the touch points wherein if a customer feels happy, asking for a review is but natural. And if there's anyone in the hospitality industry, you know how important reviews are. Wow element number two, the retail outlet. How many times have you gone out to a vacation and while you're at the property, you want to have a ice cream or cold drinks? If you're like me, multiple times. Each time, the housekeeping members delivers these things that you order to your room. That's the norm, right? But as I had said, great product design with a wow factor isn't accidental. It is intentional. During the golf cart ride, we were shown a retail store which is inside the property. This retail store contains everything a family may need when they are enjoying their staycation over the weekend. You think of chocolates, cold drinks, knickknacks, ice cream, whatever you may need as a family, it has everything. Upon looking at these, the kids are already starting to dream. After lunch, this is the ice cream that I am going to have. After dinner, this is the chocolate that I am going to have. The wife looks at the husband thinking, hey, we are at this vacation. I can have a couple of cold drinks, right? Two crucial points to note here. If the outlet was not there, a family member would have had to take a car, go outside, and buy all the things which the family would require over this weekend. That is one less core for a family member since the retail outlet is within the property. Second point, whenever someone wants to have any, they can just go to this retail outlet and get it for themselves. Thirdly, this revenue, although maybe small, would have gone out any other retailer outside the property. Since this retail outlet was within this property, all this revenue remained inside. And if you know how retail pricing works, the margin is extremely heavy. Even if you're selling everything on MRP, which this retail outlet was, you still are getting heavy margins as a retailer. From a guest experience standpoint, you are not thinking of any of that. You are going with your wife. If you wanted to have an ice cream and your wife wanted to have a chocolate, you go buy that and you enjoy that. Second wow factor in this property. And the best part about this retail outlet, the strategy why this really works for this property. This is a big property, like I had mentioned. If housekeeping staff were busy delivering one cold drink, one chocolate from outside the property to your rooms, they would be doing cycles one after the other. Instead, having this retail outlet enabled all the guests to go and get whatever they want at whatever time of the day or the evening. This retail outlet is open till late night, so you have that option to have an ice cream, two ice creams, or if you're like me, multiple ice creams after your dinner. Wow factor 3, the cafeteria or the confectionery area. If you've been to any good weekend resort, you know that they would be having a big restaurant. The only challenge with a restaurant, it does not have a lot of shelf space. That's where this resort's cafeteria, confectionery area provides visibility for people who love a sweet dish. Just beside the retail outlet, under the open air, you have a huge space which is fully glassed up. You see two pastry chefs making cakes, baking something. The aroma of the freshly baked cake, you can't miss that. It's like you are able to smell that 100 meters away. In every group, there's always a person who's a sucker for coffee or tea. In my family, I'm that person. I can get you your coffee or tea to your room, or you may want to try and get it at the restaurant. But we'd suggest why not go to the cafeteria? The prices are less too. That's what I heard when I inquired about my evening coffee over the phone in the reception area. I walked there with my wife. While I was having my coffee, I saw there are these varieties of cakes which are freshly baked. Upon seeing the varieties of the cakes and patties at this area, who could resist another upsell? As I sat sipping my coffee, looking at the sun go beyond the horizon, I couldn't help but think the minute details with which this property has been developed. There has been multiple wow factors which I myself, along with my families, could experience. The resort knew exactly what a customer may want if they are coming over and they want to enjoy themselves. While I had budgeted a certain amount of money for this weekend getaway, when I got the bill, I saw it was 20% overboard. But I did not budge. I did not mind. I saw my family had a great time at this property. So much so, my grandmother wanted to come back again. As I drove back to the city, all I could think of, when can I come back here over a weekday period? Maybe an office outing where the crowds would be less. You must be thinking, how can you design a product which has all these wow factors? I have 3 points for you. Number one, research, research, research. In this video, you can see how research helped the city of New York from going bankrupt in the early 1970s. Fun fact, if you see this video, you will also get to know who were the creators of the I Love New York campaign. Second point, segment your audience in small customer buckets. If you are a property based in a temple town which is crowded, your customer needs would be very, very, very different if you are running a property which is in a crowded beach destination. Jot down all the interactions that a guest may have with your property and your employees. Try and find out those micro moments which can get elevated. Maybe one of your employees is a great storyteller. Try organizing an evening storytelling session. Who doesn't like a good story? The list over here can be endless. The important thing to understand is your customer. For once, forget about marketing, concentrate and hone in on the operations. You will have all your answers once you start noting down all the different operational touch points which can get elevated with a wow factor. Since you've stuck around for so long, let me explain the clever pricing strategy at play at the cafeteria and why it is giving coffee and tea at a lesser price than what they are able to give at the restaurant. Number one, it is open air, so no air condition, no artificial lights. The input cost itself is low. Second, this cafeteria and the lesser price for the coffee and tea is more like a promotional activity for ensuring people come there during the evening, and then the upsell for the chocolates, the cold drinks, the ice cream, the cakes. You get the understanding. The combined revenue of these chocolates, the ice creams, the cakes far outweigh a couple of coffee or tea at the restaurant. Smart indeed. Great product decisions are never accidental. It is extremely intentional. And by the way, upon my return, I started researching a little how much do they market this property. And to my surprise, I saw they spend very little on marketing. The marketing is actually done by the users. The guests who've gone there, who felt so nice, they've already given the reviews, they are making Instagram reels, they are making content on their own. That's user generated content which is helping market this property. Isn't that a great operational loop which is ultimately ensuring business is generated again and again and again from repeat guests? They keep their marketing spending to a minimal and optimize for operational supremacy. That is where they are able to deliver superior guest experiences. If you like such deep dive videos on hotels or other businesses as to how they are running their business and what are the kind of learnings we can learn from them, do give it a like, do give it a subscribe. It helps me understand this is bringing some value to someone. Till next time, this is DV. Take care.